Hi, I'm Dave Farah. Welcome to MMA Fix here on the Fight Network. On this episode, we hang out with Frank Mir, Marc Laimon, Gina Carano, and Shawn Tompkins backstage at the Tough Enough amateur fights here in Las Vegas. They were all on hand to support their up-and-coming fighters. Frank Mir cornered his cousin Larry Mir, and Gina Carano came out to cheer on her teammate and former Playboy model Latasha Marzola. Also this episode, as UFC 99 is just days away, our correspondent Arianny Celeste paid a visit to Juan Fight Team to find what final words Wanderlei Silva has for his opponent Rich Franklin. Later, we catch up with former UFC ring girl and current Playboy cover model Relle Leah. We'll also treat you to our greatest outtakes as we strive to fine-tune our MMA news series here on the Fight Network. And finally, my co-host Steve Cofield and I will sit down and give you our picks for your best betting odds at UFC 99 with Wanderlei and Rich Franklin. And now for the latest MMA news. It is confirmed Kimbo Slice will be a contender on The Ultimate Fighter Season 10. From YouTube backyard brawler to Elite XC phenom, Kevin Kimbo Slice Ferguson is one of the 16 cast members for the popular show and now could earn himself a contract with the Ultimate Fighting Championship. In an interesting turn of events, the Fight Network has learned that cast members did not need to win fights to earn a spot in the house, which has been the rule for the past few seasons, and has some speculating if special rules have been implemented to accommodate Kimbo. 4 former NFL players are also confirmed as cast members, including Marcus Jones, Matt Mitrione, Brendan Schaub, and Wes Shivers. In other UFC news, Frank Trigg versus Josh Koscheck is set for UFC 103. Popular website MMA Junkie has now confirmed the show will take place in Dallas, Texas on September the 19th. Trigg is 7-2 since leaving the UFC, while Koscheck looks to rebound from a surprising first-round loss to Paulo Thiago earlier this year. Also, Patrick Cote signs a new contract with the UFC. The first man in the UFC to have taken Anderson Silva past round 2 has signed a new 4-fight deal. Cote confirmed with the Fight Network that he hopes to return by October, and he is already in the early stages of preliminary training for his return. And finally, in UFC news, Mauricio Shogun Rua will get the first crack at Machida's new light heavyweight title. With Rashad Evans and Quentin Rampage Jackson now officially set to coach on the 10th season of The Ultimate Fighter, the newly crowned UFC light heavyweight champ Lyoto Machida will defend his title against Shogun at UFC 104 on October 24th at the Staples Center in LA. Shogun is coming off his first-round win over Chuck the Iceman Liddell at UFC 97 in April, while Machida destroyed Rashad Evans to capture the title at UFC 98 last month. As demand for the UFC video game Undisputed 2009 soars, the MMA video game market grows larger. In addition to UFC President Dana White announcing the follow-up to Undisputed set to release in 2010, EA Sports has also confirmed its 2010 release of an MMA-themed video game called EA Sports MMA. The game is expected to feature fighters that are not currently signed with the UFC, although Randy Couture and Frank Trigg should be featured as they made deals with EA Sports prior to returning to the UFC. And in good news for New Yorkers, New York passes an MMA bill. The New York State Assembly's Committee of Tourism, Parks, Arts, and Sports recently voted favorably on Bill 2009B, which would call for mixed martial arts to be regulated by the New York State Athletic Commission. This vote suggests MMA may soon be sanctioned by the state of New York. In Affliction news, there are several bouts set for Affliction's third installment in Title Trilogy. In addition to the previously announced WAMA heavyweight title fight pitting Fedor Emelianenko against #1 contender Josh Barnett, the Affliction promotion has announced several other matchups for its card set for August 1st at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, including Gegard Mousasi, who is now reportedly set to take on Babalu in a light heavyweight contest. Vitor Belfort will face off against Sengoku middleweight kingpin Jorge Santiago. Also, 2 heavyweight fights tentatively slated include Tim Sylvia versus Paul Buenatello and Ben Rothwell versus Chase Gormley. Plus, lightweights Chris Hordesky and Dan Lauzon will clash, while Jay Haran faces off against Paul Daly in welterweight action. The World Victory Road promotion signed Satoshi Ishii to Sengoku. The highly touted gold medalist was initially reported to have signed with the UFC, but has since expressed interest in competing in his native Japan. A debut date for Ishii has yet to be confirmed. In Strikeforce news from Saturday night in St. Louis, Mike Whitehead beat Kevin Randleman, Jake Shields was victorious over Robbie Lawler, Nick Diaz was able to take out the very experienced Scott Hands of Steel Smith, and finally, in a shocker, Brett the Grim Rogers beat Andrei Arlovsky in less than 30 seconds. And finally, WEC 41 Brown vs. Faber 2 took place on Sunday, June 7th at the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California. The main card featured featherweight legend Jens Pulver against 20-year-old Josh Grisby. Pulver got caught in an arm-in guillotine and was forced to tap at just 33 seconds into the first round. Pulver announced he is considering his retirement after an emotional 4-streak loss. We here at MMA Fix, along with most MMA fans, have always enjoyed watching Jens Little Evil Pulver fight and wish him the best of luck whatever he decides in his future endeavors. Other big wins on the main card include Donald Cerrone over James Cross with a rear naked choke at 4 minutes and 38 seconds into the first round. And a huge win for Jose Aldo over Cub Swanson as Aldo exploded with a double flying knee. Aldo's right knee connected with Swanson's eye and put him on the ground. Aldo finished with a flurry of punches, finishing Swanson in just 8 seconds of the first round. And props to a great undercard fight, Scott Jorgensen and Antonio Banuelos. The nonstop action brawl led to a split decision win for Banuelos that really could have gone either way. And in the main event, WEC featherweight champ Mike Brown faced former champ Uriah Faber for a highly anticipated title rematch. After a 5-round war and Faber apparently fighting with a broken right hand into the 4th round, Brown won with a unanimous decision, retaining his featherweight title. You're watching MMA Fix on RawVegas.tv and the Fight Network. My name is Dave Farah alongside Steve Cofield from CageWriter.com and Yahoo Sports, and it's time for UFC 99, Wanderlei Silva versus Rich Franklin picks. You ready?
I'm ready to go. Let's get some winners.
This card is called UFC 99 Comeback. One of these guys could hypothetically launch themselves back into close to contention for the UFC light heavyweight title shot a couple of fights down the road. What do you think about the matchup?
It's an exciting fight style-wise because we know that both have pretty good skills in terms of being well-rounded. Not that either guy's a submission guy or either guy's a demon on the ground, but we know they both can strike. We know they both have knockout power. The question for me is, where is Wanderlei Silva in terms of changing and kind of morphing and growing as a fighter as he gets older? Because he seems like he's kind of still that walk straight ahead, try to intimidate, try to outpower people. He's got to adjust. I think he's doing that, but we'll see how quick he's doing it because we know Rich Franklin has. I think Rich Franklin is a much better striker, has much better technique than he did in the past. And it's going to be kind of that whole fight breakdown thing from a tactics standpoint, who executes. And yet, none of that could matter because both guys have knockout power, so one guy could be doing well, and all of a sudden, boom, the fight's over.
A couple of things jump to mind here. Wanderlei Silva's work ethic is one of them. A couple of top trainers here in Las Vegas have been talking about him not showing up to practice on time or maybe not training as hard as he should. And then the other big thing is the fact that Anderson Silva is working very closely with Rich Franklin on this fight, which is causing a whole bunch of controversy because him and Wanderlei used to be training partners and very close friends. Do you think that working with Anderson Silva, Rich Franklin's former nemesis, that's actually going to help him?
The Anderson Silva angle is interesting on the Wanderlei Silva side because I think it's, as you said, adding some fuel to the fire because maybe Wanderlei was going to be jacked up for this fight. Now he's really angry. You know, this is a guy that he was buddies with in the past, and now he threw it out. He's like, hey, you're so confident in Rich Franklin. Let's put 50 grand up a piece. Let's go head-to-head on that one.
Let's talk about the catchweight because this is 10 pounds above middleweight and 10 pounds less than light heavyweight at 195. Do you think that one of these two fighters has a distinct advantage or maybe even a slight advantage at being at catchweight?
Well, there should be no problem for Rich Franklin. I mean, he has made 85 for years. He's more comfy now, up at 205. So the weight cut won't be a problem. Wanderlei, we'll find out.
Okay, let's talk about the actual betting on this fight. Do you think there's value in Wanderlei Silva being the underdog?
I don't think there's a whole lot of value. I do think it's basically an even fight, but I think the odds are pretty solid on Rich Franklin, and I think there's enough to put a bet on him just because he has more ways to win, and I just think he's the more savvy fighter who's kind of grown over the years. He's got a little better defensive abilities. I still worry about Wanderlei kind of going back to the old style of pride that he's shown in UFC where it's just, let's throw hands, and whoever gets knocked out first is going to decide the winner of the fight. And it's really not the wisest approach in 2009 as all these guys now have game plans and come up with ways to defend themselves and add to their game. So Wanderlei makes me nervous a little bit, and yet I could see him going in there and landing a big shot. And he did it with Jardine, right? And then he's choking him on the ground. So who the heck knows? He could do it here.
But your official pick is?
I'm going to go with the safer pick. Even though he's a slight favorite, you got to pay a little extra money. I'm going to go with Rich Franklin.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Rich Franklin is also my pick for this fight. He seems like he's taking this fight very seriously. He's working with the right people, and I think that Rich Franklin is going to win this fight. For UFC 99, Dave Farah alongside Steve Cofield. Steve, people can see a full breakdown of all the fights on your website.
Go to Yahoo. It's CageWriter.com is the direct address, and we tell you this every time. You don't have to bet the top fights on the card. There's value with all of the fights, and sometimes the books miss the lower fights. You saw how we did, when we do recommended picks at UFC 98, we did really well, and there's not as much money, on those fights, so sometimes the odds makers miss on those. So do your research and pick fights all up and down the card.
And the good news is you don't really actually have to do any research. He does it all for you, so all you have to do is read. Go to cagewriter.com and check it out. Steve Cofield, again, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Dave Farah, you're watching MMA Fix on RawVegas.tv and the Fight Network.
My name is Master Khan Mighty. They call me Persian Warrior. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world and founder of the Shindu Kumite.
For RawVegas.tv and the Fight Network, my name is Dave Farah. Backstage at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, where Tough Enough is happening. Tonight, it's Team USA versus Team Mexico, and we're about to walk into the blue corner room where some of the top trainers in the U.S. and some of the top fighters that are up and coming are getting ready for their big fights. Let's go.
Jab inside, Larry. Jab inside, like
Frank Mir, how you doing, man?
Real well.
We're here to support your cousin, is that right?
Yeah, my cousin. We grew up in Vegas together, only 11 months apart, so we're actually pretty close, more like brothers.
I understand that you may have a couple of words of insight for him.
Yeah, he's done 2 kickboxing events, but obviously every time you do something a little bit different, a little different vibes with it, a little different nerves, and, you know, he still knows what it's like to get punched in the face.
All right, Larry, are you terrified?
No, not really. I think I'm more excited than terrified, you know, but we'll see what happens when we go out there.
You got that Mir last name. That's a lot to live up to, right?
Yeah, but that's not the reason why I do it. Or that, I mean, a lot of people think that that's the chip that I try to hold, and it's not. You know, it's a chip that, you know, a lot of people tell me I can't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing it, and, you know, that's what drives me, and that's what makes me do it.
Having Frank Mir as your cousin, what has he taught you? I mean, what's something nice that he said, okay, let's work on this, or let's get this polished up as you...
My nose.
Keep your arms up?
Yeah, protect my nose. No, I just, you know, stay composed. Don't fight with emotion. Don't go out there like a madman, you know. Just stay composed and fight my game, you know, fight my fight. You know.
What's your game? Are you a stand-up guy? Are you a jiu-jitsu guy? What's your specialty?
I'm not going to give that up. I'm pretty well-rounded, I believe, you know.
Right, is there anything like when you got your cousin fighting, is there anything that still gets the butterflies going a little bit for you?
On my side, it's you want to say everything. It's like, you know, I want to give him every information, everything I can possibly think of, and everything that I've learned. As a coach, you're constantly going back and forth behind giving good information and not overwhelming your student or, you know, my cousin at the same time. Like, you know, is this too much? You know, this is not enough. You know, so you're kind of sitting there, you know, second-guessing yourself.
Laimon, who you pimping tonight?
Who am I picking?
Pimping.
Pimping? My shoes?
Oh, your shoes.
Yeah, thanks to Twig. Twig did that. They're sweet. And there'll be some new ones coming out in a little bit, too.
Listen, even if he's not the greatest coach in the world, at least he's got custom kicks, right?
Yeah, he's good.
Is he the greatest coach in the world, too?
Yeah, he's up there.
Obviously, you're one of the greatest jiu-jitsu coaches out there, but you're such a controversial guy, Marc Laimon. Why?
I just speak my mind, and people a lot of times don't like to hear what I have to say, but I don't really care. I just play video games and watch fights, so.
I was at Grappler's Quest, and somebody's almost started a fight with you. What happened?
Someone was trying to cheat. I called them on them cheating, and then somebody else struck somebody else, but I just kind of told the person what they were doing was wrong. Then somebody else hit somebody else, and I was just sitting back watching the whole thing explode.
Tell us about your fighter tonight.
Coach Cobb Adams, when I first met him, he was, I think, 17 years old, and he came in. I was like, man, this kid's strong, but he sucked on the ground. He's been training really hard, and now he's tapping a lot of the better guys at the gym. His jiu-jitsu is almost as good as his striking right now, so I'm excited to watch him fight.
Marc Laimon is a very outspoken guy. Do you think that he's a good coach but a dick?
No, he's a good coach.
He's a nice guy, man.
I am a dick, but, you know, that's what happens when you speak your mind.
I'm going to put some pressure on you here. A moment ago, the guy broke out the program to tell us about everyone who is fighting tonight. He's like, hey, watch this guy right here. That was you, man. You're apparently highly touted. People are excited to see you fight.
That's cool, I guess, yeah. I put on a show. I like to entertain the crowd, and they come back. So.
Well, what's next for you? I mean, do you have like 3 or 4 fights that you're going to do amateur, and then you're going to try to go pro, or what's your plan?
No, I'm going pro right after this. I want to just get my pro rankings up there so I could hopefully get better deals in the future.
You're going pro after tonight? What if you lose?
I don't care, I'm going pro.
Let's talk about the new UFC video game. Do you like Undisputed?
Yes, I do like Undisputed. The guys actually came to my gym. They filmed a lot of the jiu-jitsu moves for the grappling because, like I said, you know, I really don't have a life. All I do is watch fights, play video games. So they're like, wow, this guy's in both of these worlds that we're trying to combine. And they came to my gym. We had some fighters going over actual moves, and I said, this move looks good, this doesn't, this is good, this isn't. And then they actually flew me back a few times to the THQ headquarters where I actually got to play the builds of the game, and I was like, it was really cool. So I got to have a lot of my input on the game. So
did you get paid for that?
No, but that's living the dream. I don't really care about that. You know, I'm in a video game. I actually have a created character named Marc Laimon that's getting trained by Marc Laimon, being played by Marc Laimon. I can die a happy guy now.
I asked him if he was the head of an Extreme Couture. He said, I'm in charge of that whole damn place, right?
Yeah, right. I'm ahead of nothing. I'm just happy that Randy lets me in the building from day to day.
All right, well, you got a big fight tonight with one of your guys. Tell us about your fighter and what you expect.
Jimmy Jones has come a long way in the year that he's been training, actually a little over a year. He's just a guy who works really hard. He's been improving, and, you know, he's a 145-pound champion, tough enough. His title's not on the line tonight, but 35, 45, whatever, eat a sandwich. Anyway, he's a good guy. He's a champion, and he's just continuing to improve.
A lot of people look at Extreme Couture as one of those hubs that really is able to turn out the best fighters in the world, from amateur level all the way up to the world champions. Do you feel that you guys are the best at what you do?
I mean, we're pretty confident. I don't want to say we're best. There's a lot of good gyms out there. I mean, Cobra Kai here, Marc Laimon, I work with him with some fighters. He's a great coach as well. You know, you have Greg Jackson's camp, Mark Delagrati, American Top Team AK. So there's a lot of good teams out there.
What about Marc Laimon? Nice guy or a dick?
I think he's a nice guy, but he can be a dick. What's not? Mark's a good guy. You know, and it doesn't matter if people perceive him as a dick or not, is if his fighters go out there and get results. And, you know, I could be the nicest guy in the world, but my fighters lose. That doesn't mean anything. If they think I'm a dick, but my fighters win, that's all that's really important.
Ron Guy, nice or a dick?
Same as Mark.
Yeah. So he can be a dick. Does he hurt you in the gym?
My fighters, man. That's only to the fighters.
No, Ron's a great coach. He pushes us all to the limit, and I'm really happy to have him as a coach.
I've been told that you're one of the guys to watch. Why is that?
You know, I like to mix it up a little bit. I'm long. I'm pretty tall for my weight class, so I expect new things every time I go out there.
Okay, I'm going to ask you and Ron the same question. What's the career arc here? How many fights until you're going pro?
I couldn't tell you right now. No idea.
Ron, how many fights till he's going pro?
You know what? We'll take it 1 year at a time, and we'll see how he's progressing and see if he reaches that level. I'm not going to send anybody out there who's not ready to turn pro, and if they feel they're ready before I do, they're welcome to go to another gym and turn pro.
Standing next to Gina Carano backstage. You're here to support your girl, right?
Yes, sir.
I asked her if she would ever fight you. She said no. No one wants to fight you. Why is that?
She's not my weight class, and she's my teammate.
I know, but I asked her if she would move up specifically to fight you, because you're so high profile now. Everyone wants to fight you.
I know everybody wants to fight me, so why add to that list? Right?
But who do you want to fight?
Right now, Cyborg. Cyborg's on the, on the panel. That's who I'm aiming for.
Let's talk about Tasha. Tell me a little bit about Tasha's fight and how she's improved as an MMA fighter.
Me and Tasha started off ring girls, like with Master Toddy back in the day. She's got amazing energy, and she gets in there, and she's there to do one thing, and it's fight. And so she's for real, and I back her 100%.
Is it fun for you having friends actually entering the arena to fight alongside you?
Yeah, actually. We all used to fight together. Like all of us girls, traveled to Thailand and traveled together just to fight, and it's so nice when you have that female there.
Backstage for the blue corner, Shawn Tompkins, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm real excited about tonight.
Tell us about your girl.
My girl's going to war. She's in great shape. She's ready to go.
Tasha Marzola, I know you've been getting ready for this. I know you're excited for this. Tell me your feelings right now as you're getting very close to your matchup.
I'm really excited. I just want to kind of get it over with. But I've trained hard. I'm ready. I got the best coaches in the world, and I'm ready to get it on.
Yeah, but you're not a rookie either at the same time. I mean, you've had some intense professional competition before.
Yes.
So how is this different? I mean, are you feeling more nervous now than ever before?
Well, it's mixed martial arts. I kickboxed.
Mixed martial arts in general, it's still a boys' club. There's a couple of organizations now that are opening their doors a little bit, and they're allowing female fighters premier spots on the card.
Well, hopefully we can change that for women, because there's a bunch of women out there that are really good athletes and great at the sport. So hopefully we're opening the doors, and they're going to take a look at us. And my goal is to be a champ. So that's why I'm here.
Crosshairs on Gina Carano at all?
That's my girl.
I know.
I love her.
Would you want to fight her?
She ain't my weight.
I know, but would you move up or would she move down?
I would never fight Gina.
You're that close?
Yeah.
See, everyone says that. What about Kim Couture?
No.
Who do you want to fight?
You.
I'm scared of that, and I think I should be. She's obviously come a long way, hasn't she?
Absolutely, and there's lots of matches out there for us. It's not about following the footsteps of Kim Couture or Gina Carano. Tasha's about to make her own path, and I'm excited to be there with her.
Final question for you. This is going to air after your fight. How's it going to end?
I'm going to win.
Knockout, submission?
I'm just going to fight my butt off and see what happens, you know? But I'm very confident I'll come out on top.
Now we send the sexy Arianny Celeste to check up on Wanderlei Silva as his UFC 99 catchweight division fight against Rich Franklin approaches. Wanderlei has words for both Rich Franklin and Franklin's coach, who is Wanderlei's latest nemesis, Anderson Silva.
Hey everybody, Arianny Celeste here for the Fight Network and RawVegas.tv. We're at Wanderlei's new gym in Las Vegas called the Wan Fight Team, and we're going to have a little chat with him about UFC 99. When are you fighting next?
I fight with Rich Franklin in the UFC 99, and it's a great match, it's a great opponent for me, and I'm training so hard, and now I have more 2 weeks here in my gym, and 1 week in Germany, and I stay in the finish of my training, and now I'm training all. I training all day, every day.
Do you have anything to say to Rich Franklin right now before the big day?
Yeah, of course. You're training hard because you're going to need.
You're going to need it.
Yeah, you're going to need it because I'm staying the great time. I'm training hard. I have a good guys here, and or this guy training so much, or this guy don't going to pass the second round with me.
Forrest is supposed to be fighting Anderson. What do you think about that? Who do you think is going to win?
First train with me, him here sometimes, and I'm gonna help him to fight with Anderson, and he have a great chance. I think in Forrest train correct, and give it the best Forrest in the day. I think Forrest is going to beat Anderson. Forrest is going to win because he's a more stronger, and the technique is the same. He's so aggressive, and him don't afraid, and I don't see Anderson beat him, but. Forrest is a tough fighter, tough fighting for all.
There's been a lot of talk about you calling out Anderson Silva. Is there anything you want to say about that? Clear things up a little bit?
Yes, maybe he's next. No, if I'm going to fight now with his students because Franklin's going to train with him. And maybe I want an opportunity to fight with the champion in future, no? My performance is going to talk for me. Maybe I beat my next opponent. I have a chance to fight with the champion. I don't know. What is the plans of the boss have for me in the future? I just waiting and working.
Well, definitely, we would love to see that. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Our host, Barrett Applegate, caught up with the beautiful former UFC ring girl and current Playboy cover model, Relle Leah, and asked her the age-old question, which would you prefer to be on a desert island with? A ravenous mountain lion or the ravenously beautiful Arianny Celeste? Check it out.
So, Rachelle, you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
A little Playboy action from what I hear?
A little bit of Playboy action.
How's that going for you? I hear good things.
Yeah, you know, it was, I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah,
whatever comes to mind.
It was Playboy.
Yeah. How do you feel it turned out? Pretty good?
Yeah. It was nice. It turned out classy and pretty, I think.
Good to know. UFC.
Yeah, UFC.
You miss the days?
Not being a ring girl, no.
No?
Not at all. But I had a good time doing it and opened a lot of doors for me and all part of climbing the ladder, right?
Yes. Ladders are very useful in our modern world, from what I hear.
Are you a big fan?
I'm a big fan of ladders, yeah, always.
Are you a big fan of the UFC?
Oh, UFC also. Yeah, that too.
Did you watch the last fight?
I heard about it. I heard Machida did a little ass whooping action.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Rashad fan, so I was rooting for him, but, you know, Machida's amazing and, you know, proud of him for that. So.
Brock Lesnar versus Machida. Who wins?
Oh, Brock.
You think so?
He's a machine. He's so talented. I think that I think people don't give him the respect that he really deserves, and he's gifted with a body and knows exactly what to do with his size and you know, good for him. He deserves his title.
Is Frank Mir going to walk away with another W?
Oh, You know, I love Frank Mir, and I hope so, but I don't know. I don't know. It's always unpredictable with him. Some days he shows up and he's on fire, and some days not so much. So.
One more question. If you had to live on a desert island and you could either bring a rabid mountain lion or Arianny Celeste, which one would you pick?
Oh my God.
I know it's a tough call.
That's just rude.
Is it?
I mean, do you have something against Arianny?
No, not at all.
Comparing her to a rabid mountain lion.
Hopefully it's an obvious answer.
I'd probably go with the good company. I'd go with Arianny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure there. I just wanted, that's something I've always wondered about you. Now I know.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
We here at MMA Fix are proud to be over 5 episodes into our new series. But we admit it's been a little bit bumpy as we work out the kinks of shooting a new show. Up next, you can see it's not always easy to do what I do or to be on the other side of the interview for that matter. Hi, I'm Dave Farah. Welcome to MMA Fix here on the Fight Network. On this episode, we have former UFC, but they're like Dana White and Tito Ortiz, like boxing match. It was just like a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, it's like, why would Tito do that? It's like if you beat up your boss, congratulations, you beat a guy that you were supposed to, and then if you lose,
it'd be like me fighting
ruined.
Kim Couture.
Yeah, exactly.
That's off,
you
right?
Take that
That's
off. Still rolling?
Oh, I'm going to be real famous in Canada.
33:05 to 33:40. One take fair. Here we go. All right. Hi, I'm Dave. Oh, Jesus.
Hey everyone, I'm Arianny Celeste here for MMA. Is that what I'm supposed to be saying? Oh, and you're watching. Okay. Hey everyone, Arianny Celeste here for MMA Fix, and oh God.
Here's the fireplace mantle from the house on the hill. The candles fall off just like that. That was unscripted.
You see how strong this guy is?
Brown has also announced that he will be taking extra time to Brown has now also announced that he will be taking time to nurse his nagging needs and injuries. His nagging needs.
Let's talk about the new UFC video game. Do you like Undisputed?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a real good game, and I had a very good role in how. Actually, sorry about f***ing up that shit, but yes, I do like Undisputed.
Also slated for UFC 99, Crowcock. Oh my.
Hi, I'm Marc the Hammer Coleman. You watch, what is it again?
MMA Fix. Hi, I'm Mike Swick.
And I'm John Fitch.
And you're watching the MMA Fix. Man, why do I keep getting the RawVegas.tv messing up, man? It's like you can say RawVegas.tv.
Hi, I'm Marc the Hammer Coleman. You're watching MMA Fixed on RawTV.com. Nope.
Take 7. Hi, I'm Mike Swick.
And I'm John Fitch.
You're watching, and I already messed that up. Unbelievable. I'm honestly thinking of what you're going to say, and if you're going to get it right, and then I forget what I'm saying. The MMA Fix. How hard is that?
Okay. Hey, shut the up.
Do it live.
Let's do it live. It. God, I want to do that one day.
We'll do it live.
Franklin has announced that his new what the you doing? What did I say? You said upcoming. Upcoming?
No, he said but.
But. Popped it a little bit too much? Okay. But. Guess what? Okay. UFC 101 will feature. This is gonna get bad. Okay. We can do it one more time. You want to do it one more time?
We'll go one more time, but you know what? We'll do it at the end of it.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of MMA Fix. I'm Dave Farah from RawVegas.tv and the Fight Network. Have a good night, and we'll see you right here next week.